In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 to 5D Earth split that is happening right now on the planet. I'm going to show you exactly what to do to make sure that you're on the most optimal timeline, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do. Welcome back, another video. My name's Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of the 3rd dimensional to 5th dimensional Earth split that is happening right now, that has been happening, and that will continue to happen, and how you can make sure that you're on the one that you want. Because when it comes to this process, if you're on the one that you don't want, you'll find that a lot of things appear to be negative. You'll find that a lot of things drag you into lower states of consciousness, and you'll find that you end up on a timeline that you really don't want to be in. And the metaphor for this, the 3 to 5D Earth split, actually comes from some books by Dolores Cannon. Many of you heard me talk a lot about her before. I get a lot of DMs from people saying, oh, I started reading Dolores Cannon, thank you for the suggestion. Dolores Cannon is a hypnotherapist and was a hypnotherapist before she passed away. She has a technique called the QHHT technique, which gets people to the deepest levels of brainwave activity. And what happens is these people have, and their higher selves can come through. So imagine someone's under in hypnosis, and someone that's the practitioner can ask that person a question, and their higher self comes through to answer it. So there may be questions like, why did this person incarnate at this time? There'll be questions like, who is this person's role in this person's life? What is their purpose in life? And all of these things are things that our higher self knows. Now, through thousands and thousands of these different QHHT practitioner and things, people have said very similar things. They have said, all around the world, different people that did not know each other, their higher selves come through, and a question is asked, why did you incarnate at this time? And it was to go through this shift in consciousness, to go through this great awakening, to help the planet Earth ascend to a higher dimensional state of consciousness, to be a part of it. Right now on the planet is the most potent time to be alive ever than ever before, because as a mass level, we are moving into a higher dimensional state of consciousness. Now, something else that was talked about in these QHHT sessions, which, by the way, there's still QHHT sessions. It's not all because she passed away doesn't mean they're not still going on. There's just different practitioners for it. But what happened is the information that came through said that there is this 3 to 5D Earth split that will eventually happen. This was said like 5, 10, 15 years ago. There's going to be this 3 to 5D Earth split. Now, what is a 3 to 5D Earth split? What does that mean? Well, let's think about it in terms of what is the 3rd dimension, what is the 5th dimension. You could say the 4th dimension is that of time. There's many different interpretations of this, but in general, the 3rd dimension is duality. The 3rd dimension is good, bad, light, dark, up, down. The 3rd dimension a lot of times is connected to control. The 3rd dimension is a level of consciousness that feels separate. A lot of times in the 3rd dimensional state of consciousness, you feel separate from everyone else. That is them, I am me. And that's a lot of times where heads butt together, because in 3D, there's also a lot of ego. So that is something that has been on the planet for thousands of years, is this ego 3D mentality of let me conquer all the lands, let's build a wall, let's do all of these different things. It's more of a 3D type concept. And it's about understanding that this is something that's been around for a long time, but now we are moving into a new era. We're moving into a new era. A lot of the kids being born right now are awake, or pretty much already awake, already activated for this kind of work and this kind of understanding of why they came here. And what is happening is we're moving from that 3rd dimensional state of control, of duality, of attachment to these ideologies, and we're moving to that, from that, into a 5D level of consciousness. Now, a 5D level of consciousness is a 5th dimensional state of consciousness. In a 5th dimensional state of consciousness, it's all about vibration. It's understanding that there is a connection between every single one of us. It is also when more abilities come on board, because when we're all connected and we all feel that connection, there's more of what is called telepathy, where you can literally read people in a very deep way. And you think about it even now, by the way. Think about it. Over 93% of communication, even right now, is nonverbal, meaning it's not the actual words. Well, knowing that, we can see that it's not that big of a jump for the other 7% for something in the 5th dimension. When we're feeling so connected to everyone else, that's a natural part of how it works. So we're going to have abilities that we can barely even imagine now. And part of this has to do with our vibration raising, feeling higher states of emotion, more unconditional love, bliss, joy, peace. That is who we really are. The third dimension is us forgetting about that, us going into the dream of separation, and then going through a process of awakening so that we can remember who we are again, and then in a way re-emerge as that higher dimensional state of consciousness, as that love, joy, peace, because that's who we naturally are. So the idea is that there's the 5D reality and the 3D reality, and these are two different splits of what a potential and what we can experience right now. So sometimes we think of this as the future, like, oh, in the future, there's going to be this 3 to 5D year split. It's going to be like I pop out of here and I pop over here or I pop over here. It's happening right now. This split is happening right now, but here's the thing about it. Here's the thing to understand. There are many different timelines that exist right now. And depending on your vibration, and remember your vibration is a combination of how you think, how you act, how you feel, that's going to determine which parallel reality version you shift to. Now, this split that's happening, we could clump it all together and say it's going from a 3 to a 5D Earth split. And the idea behind it in the Dolores Cannon books was, it was said that eventually what would happen is like, it's almost like certain people would phase out of your life. So imagine you're of a certain vibration and it's like eventually it's just like you just don't ask questions about them anymore. They don't pop into your mind as much. They just appear to go somewhere else or to do their own thing. Now the idea behind this and what this has to do with is understanding just vibrational resonance. Now vibrational resonance is when you start to raise your vibration, certain people will resonate with you more, certain people will resonate with you less. That's a part of the shift in consciousness and the raise in vibration. Now when it comes to this 3 to 5D Earth split that is happening right now on the planet, it is about where is your vibration. Because this, over anything, is more of a metaphor. It is both a metaphor and quite literal at the same time. Now the misconception with this is that when it comes to ascension, many people think that ascension is this leaving the body and going into a higher state. Almost like a rapture or something. Ascension is taking the body with us and transmuting ourselves into a higher state of consciousness. And that's what's happening right now on the planet, is we are going through this shift. But a lot of times we think of things very literal. So when we think of a 3 to 5D Earth split, we think of it like, I am here in 3D and then I shift to 5D and everyone else stays on 3D. There's like a 5D Earth that emerges and everyone else just falls away. Everyone else just stays on the 3D and it just destructs and falls apart. Because here's some of the things that's going to happen as this 3D world dissolves. It's a metaphor for the 3D world that no longer serves falling away. The political system not working anymore. The financial system not having the benefits that people think it has. Us seeing that the old way of structure and control isn't working anymore and it begins to fall apart. Just like you know that if you're going to build a sandcastle, you can't build a sandcastle on top of another sandcastle. You must first off clear the area and then you can build fresh anew on top of that. In the same way, that is what will happen. Now here's the thing, depending on your vibration, you can either experience that of the things falling apart, oh my goodness, what's happening, everything's going bad, all of this stuff. But when it comes to ascension, it's about understanding that both of these you can experience. Someone could be on this track experiencing the old third dimensional world, and somebody could be literally 500 feet away in the 5D state of consciousness, in the fifth dimensional state of consciousness. This is because there's this vibrational resonance, so this metaphor for 3 to 5D Earth split is happening right now, and it's not a physical thing to where you just phase out and go to a completely new Earth. Now, as much as I say it's a metaphor, it is quite literal as well. Because imagine you raise your vibration, you start to feel higher states of emotion. Whereas you had friends that you would normally kind of be in lower states with, you would do things that would bring your vibration down. Well, being in that higher state, eventually, they won't come around as much. There will be certain things that manifest to where it's just you don't see each other as much. Like, let's hang out here, let's do this, and things just don't work out. You'll find that they just start to phase out, and then eventually they just don't think about you as much. That's happened to me in my own life in many ways. As I raise my vibration, I go through these experiences of where there are some people that have kind of, in a way, just They understand I'm doing my own thing, but it's almost like there's not this desire that there used to be. It's like, oh, we have to see each other every 3 weeks or every month. It's almost like we're on and we're just doing our own thing now, but we're also literally in different states of consciousness. Not better or worse, just different points of view. So 5D level of consciousness is when you're more centered in your heart. That is the area that we are moving into on the planet in this time. It's this time of ascension. Understand, everyone you come into contact with is connected to you at a deeper level. The more you realize this is the more you are in that 5D state of consciousness, the more that you can forgive, the more that you can raise your own vibration. So this earth split that seems like a metaphor is a metaphor, but it is also quite literal. Because if you are watching the news and listening to all this crime and all this bad stuff that's happening, you will perceive of a reality that has more and more characteristics of it. But literally 6 houses down, someone could be in a 5D state of consciousness, a 5th dimensional state of consciousness. And the key to ascending and ascension in general is understanding that both are here for you now. You can experience the 3D identification, attachment, linear time-space reality. It's much slower, much more dense. Or you can choose to get on board and get into your heart center. Be authentic. Do your passion. Be passionate about your life. Understand that you wanted to be here. Here's the thing that's happening as well. If you're watching this video right now, then you are also what is called a light worker. You are bringing through light in this life to help other people that are in the 3D reality to raise their vibration, because we're going through this collectively. So this 3 to 5D earth split is about you raising your vibration and then creating a bridge for other people to come over. Because as you're standing strong in your vibration, people, that's contagious energy. People want to be around that. So it's about being aware that that is something that you can experience, and that is something here for you. So understand that with this process, yes, it is a metaphor. Yes, it is actually quite literal. And what you must do about this is understand that you must raise your vibration. Don't be afraid. Here's the key to help in the 3D. First off, you have to worry about yourself. You don't have to worry about yourself, but you have to take care of yourself first. The key is to observe the 3D, to recognize it for what it is, to see it, to not engage with it emotionally and react to it. And by doing that, you won't be adding negative energy to it. At the same time, you'll be holding this space. At the same time, engage with higher vibrational activities. Eat good food. Go for a walk in nature. Connect to your heart center. Be around loved ones. Do things that you're really passionate about, because the more you're in that passion frequency, the higher state that you're in. Focus on self-love, self-healing. You doing all of these things will help you to raise your vibration more and more. And the more you raise your vibration, the more you're in this 5th dimensional state of consciousness, the less power 3D has over you. Sometimes 3D, and here's the thing, you're going to fluctuate back and forth. There's a going back and forth of this too. There are times I'm in a 5D state of consciousness, and there are times I sink back down to 3D. So be aware that you may go back and forth for a while, but you will end up maintaining more and more of this 5th dimensional state of consciousness as you go on. This is a process that we are going through. Understand that we are all multidimensional. We exist at many different levels at the same time. We come to earth, we go through this veil of forgetfulness, we forget who we are, and the key is to then remember who we are. And this remembrance is a spiritual awakening, and it's happening at a mass level right now. More and more people are waking up every day. People are going through it. Part of this will be integrating what is called the shadow aspects of us. The shadow aspects of us is the part of us that was damaged when we were kids normally, things that we gave meaning to, and we created this darker version of us that is living out these energetic patterns. And we may feel unworthy. We will always attract people based on our shadow. If our shadow isn't integrated yet, we'll attract people that are equal to that. Until we complete the past, we will repeat the past. So with that, what I have a way of showing people how they can integrate their shadow, understanding that when you integrate your shadow, you become emotionally free, how to let go of your painful past, and how to raise your vibration, your vibrational set point to a whole new level. I have a free webinar training in the top of the description box below. It will show you how to do all of that. And it will help you through this process of becoming emotionally free and integrating your shadow so that you're able to be in that 5D state of consciousness. So that'll be in the top of the description box below. You can click on that and watch it. Make sure you watch it on a desktop. If you do, you'll be able to see You'll be able to see everything. And when it comes to this process, understand that this awakening is happening right now on the planet. The 3 to 5D Earth split is a metaphor, but it is also quite literal at the same time. This ascension process is about you tapping into your own vibration. It's about you understanding who you really are. You are unconditional love, bliss, higher dimensional. You exist at many different existences at the same time. You're multidimensional. The more you become aware of this, is the more you can choose the 5D. Observe the 3D, but choose the 5D. That is something you can do, and the more you do that, the easier it will get. The better you will feel, and things will begin to align for everyone, because as you change, the world changes as well. So something else I'll be doing is more live Q&As on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me there yet, if you have questions about this, you see it there. I almost do live Q&As every day. Also, I post twice a day there as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video. If you like and subscribe to haven't already, hit the little notification here so you can see the daily vids that I do. Also, let me know what you think about the 3 to 5D Earth split. You want me to make more videos on this? Let me know in the comments below. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.